Like I don't know. I'm trying to be nice, but I mean,
panic can set it. Not panic, but maybe that's the wrong word. Chaos can ensue at this point because we're on like step 7 of like the whole brawl, and they've gone back and forth, and you're trying to focus on your whole game and the caller and everything going on, and so much is happening. And tank picks have started as well, so it's we're being critical of Hector, but we can understand, we can relate, right? So we've both been there before, where it's like, wait, how much HP is that
never
guy?
like that before in my life. No play. He's bad.
We're going to Himmels. We said Tito's have had issues on this.
Correct.
Tank picks have been done. Burbology going with a pretty traditional lineup for them. Double IS4, E100, Super Conqueror, Bat, E3. I'm still not a fan of the Bat, but it can work.
What's the last pick for Toma?
If I'm Toma, I don't know if I want double 277 to be completely honest, but they like double 277. If they know how to play Himmelsdorf,
or a 60
the E3
TP?
gives them options. If they aren't going to use B0, they use a 113. That screams more of courtyard 2-line play, less of... Because if you're playing the North, you really need an E3 at B0.
It's really weird that they're not playing IS4s. We've already talked about this, but
true.
Team with the IS4s wins.
Yeah, they really do, because you start saying like, oh yeah, in a pub, I would rather have a 277 than an IS4 any day, and then you go, okay, you're on Himmelsdorf, and you're now fighting an IS4 in a 1v1 with the 277.
It's because in small format with its HP pool, it's just insane.
I just don't think two 277s don't tend to beat 2 IS4s like ever. And even if they did,
if it was like a 2v2,
they have to really outplay, and then even if they did, they are still like, you're gonna be
because I think the IS4s just win even DPM fights.
By outplay, I mean they have to do something where they're using mobility and stuff. Because the 440 Alpha, like it has lower DPM, but it's like the 490 gun on the 277, it can't like 2-for-1 it, like it can against say an IS7. And Muscle's going here to scout at the beginning, so that was just my initial reaction with their lineup. But the E3 also does some other things where it backs teams off from, say, sitting at D2-3 looking for 8-line punish. Because if you have an E3 on the hill...
he's going to light Bastion?
There. And we saw this used on Wednesday, I believe, as well. This detection location. Now, normally at this point, Muscles would have to be scared that there's someone on the hill that can shoot him. But with their lineup, it isn't going to happen.
Yeah, if they brought a CS, you'd have to be scared, but that he's fine.
So they take K1, and this is what I've been waiting to see for a while. We haven't seen this for many weeks. Tobear's in that defensive IS4 E1 position, and they aren't contesting K1, but now they've got 2 277s there, and they're not stuck, but they're there. They didn't take any punish, and the VZs are wrapping around, and they want to just make the map wider. And now the question is, does Burbo get themselves strung out? Because you can see the E100s are pushed on the 5 line. That's what they're in danger of doing. And it looks like Muscles is going to go straight to the hill even, maybe. And I don't think that's a bad idea, as long as he's able to do it quickly and know when people can come and pressure him from the south. How do you like this defense from Burbology, Smiley? Because we were talking a lot about Tomatito's lineup.
It's good. They actually have Muscles going up to the hill.
And the VZs, I think, are going too. And they're going to get there just a few seconds.
So Serv is trying to leave. So I don't know if there's going to leave Fluky there. If they leave him by himself, I mean, he's not going to get away
Muscles could get... Ooh, that's a real bad loop, Mr. Muscles! Oh, boy. Oh,
he doesn't have turbo, and they might be going... If he's... Oh, and then he's going to get some shots out from... He's going to actually get away clean, I think. Maybe if he's
there in time to get the shot? They are not... But yeah, that was the only issue I was going to say, is there's some problems with...
I don't know why he's poking this, though. Oh, okay. Just to see how they're playing.
Just to make sure they're committing.
E100 is now flexing. Most likely, they're trying to figure out... So the problem with their lineup is they're really slow, right? And it looks like Tomatitos is trying to overextend them and figure out where they can just shove and pick somebody.
Credit to them. It's only been just now, it's about to hit 3 minutes into the game. Think about how much Tomatito's movement had done.
And Sheep had the big gun, so if he would have waited just like a little, like a half more second there, he probably actually could have got connected that.
This is actually, and now Tomatinos are leaving the hill with the VZs. They don't have too much time to do too many more plays, but I like their idea of trying to string out Burbology, and
so,
they kind of did just
yeah, so that's
shots.
basically what they're going to do. So I think that these VZs might go down the A. They don't, see, because that's the thing is the Bat Chat.
They look like they want to pick the 1 line.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the 8 line is a pick, but I guess it might not be because of the E3, and they might see the E100 there, and they might think that they're trying to do a 5 line play. Dude, they have 4 tanks north. So actually, Sheep's call is probably the right one, because there's only 2 tanks actually looking
and Muscles
down
does
the
not
1
feel
line.
confident crossing back on the 5. Muscles is just kind of stuck there now, and this can happen to a Bat Chat on this map, is once you give up some of the map control, he kind of can't move and he has to wait.
Yeah, and so once again, Sheep is kind of making himself... Oh, Kenway's actually turning around. And so I don't know if this is going... If he's going to get there in time to actually make a difference. It looks like he might.
Well, now that he's there, OP has to be watching 1 line, and they should see some of this, but they won't see Hector, and they won't see Sebastian as they cross towards the cap. They are not going to stop on the cap. They're going to be looking to pick Octo. And the shots have gone out. So we've got 2 pens so far. He's down to 1,400. Oh, they are ready. They are ready for a counterplay.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Hit the ground there. And Octo is going to be the first one down in this matchup.
He should die to Fluky, and he does.
Major Pain actually going into the rubble area. A hold on IS4 in that scenario is really bad, so they might actually have to push the other way. Sheep in December and some interesting 1v1 while the 113 is trying to occupy the Bat Chat. If this Bat Chat gets behind the E100, that 1v1 is not going to go well.
A lot comes down to this. These little duels, and the VZs are actually splitting to go D-line. They're going to take a lot of punishment crossing the 3 and trying to get towards Courtyard, because now there's nothing also to stop the E3 and the Super Conqueror from coming in. Muscles gets a left shell out in his clip while they are picking December.
So now, Serv and Fluky probably looking to pick the next IS4, but it looks like they might actually just ignore him. They're really focusing down this E100 and this E3 and Super Conk. I think it's just because once they get these guys down, they just win.
Yeah, but everyone's there to help now. Like, you can see Kenway's there sharing HP, and no one's technically died yet. December should die, and there he goes. He does finally go down. OP's taking a lot of damage. They switch focus to him.
They just have to pen.
OP should finish Serve here. He should have him.
Yep,
Oh,
and
doesn't
then
have
Major
on the
Pain
reload.
is going to pick out Serve. Fluky's going to keep on going.
Oh, Kenway's trying to turn. He needs to get out at least one more shot if he can. And actually, if he's smart, he'll just trap Fluky in there. And never let him leave. And I think that's exactly what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to keep him there, never let him leave. There's only 1.5 minutes left, and Major's really the only gun alive, right? Well, Muscle's able to get away. But Major's got a lot of HP. He should be able to win against Sebastian, or just simply start running to the north and trying to buy for time.
That was a really good block by Kenway, but it actually looks like it's not working.
He drove over him!
Maybe in the soap rock era. How? Wow. Was Bastion actually poking that? It didn't look like it to me. Looks like they're going to try to put
Muscles
two on
as
cap.
a one-shot picked up the 113. Now Burbo can't lose this anymore. I thought that Muscles wouldn't be able to kill that 113, but he was able to. That's huge.
I really think that, to be honest with you, the way that the 113 played, I feel like he should have just aggroed the Bat Chat when the Bat Chat was shooting Sheep in the butt. I really feel like he should have just 1v1 the Bat Chat instead of ignoring it and just picked that tank and then came down the 8 line to kind of help support this instead of shooting across the courtyard, because I don't think the only tank that actually crossed the D line on Burbo endgame here was literally the Bat Chat. You know what I mean? So it was just one of those things where it's just like a little, just from what I saw, that's just like only the only takeaway from it. You know, I think like Luxon probably should have just tried to Maybe especially because he was in the window at the time when Sheep got shot. So the Bat Chat probably wouldn't have been able to run away if he would have just backed off and just like, you know.
Post-game stats, Major, you saw live there, 3,500. Sebastian, 4K. Fluky, more than 4K as well. And a kill from Sebastian. Serve, 2,200. Luxon, 2,600. Hector, 1,300. Sheep, we saw with the big gun, we saw him bounce a couple shells and miss that shot on the bat.
I can't believe Sheep had 0 damage. That's
that
crazy.
Game,
that's probably...
Burbology had, what, 856 HP left?
Yeah. I mean, I guess is kind of... I mean, Sheep probably isn't even mad at anybody. I mean, he went 6, he hit 3 times and he didn't pen anything. So,
That's
I mean, I think it was
right
kind of just like, that's one of those things where it's like, that's kind of on you, my dude. You had a shot on a Bat Chat, you took it a little too soon. So he could have...
They were able to pick that IS-4 on the outside so well.
But
and
yeah, look,
easily.
I'm telling you, man, Muscles in a Bat Chat, even though it was, because the game was playing so long because of the HP, that's why I think Muscles was like something maybe Luxon should have looked for. But at the end of the day, you know, they play the way they play. And so I think Burbology did it well. But to be honest with you, if Sheep would have actually penned one of those 3 shots, I think it would have went the other way. It was just one of those small things.
It absolutely would have, because that was so close even at the very end. And you think about some of those shots, they were bounces like at the beginning of brawls.
So this means that, for example, if he would have penned both shots on December, that would have been 1,500 HP. If he would have hit the Bat Chat, that would have been like, who knows, 750 average, right? And the Bat Chat would have been close to 1 shot. So maybe, he became like a focus. He definitely wouldn't have won against the 113, right? If he was 1 shot. If Sheep would have hit that shot, he would have went from 1,300 to like, probably around 600, 700, right? A 2 shot for a 113. He never would have won that 1v1. And so that means that most likely Major Payne actually would have died because he would have had a 113 behind him, and the 113 probably could have screened a little bit better. Well, actually, not even screened. It would have been a 3v1, right? And it would have just been GG.
I thought like the first couple of steps by Tomatitos were really well done. They were making like that first 3 minutes, they were making really good use of their time and making Burbology move around awkwardly, hoping to get a little punish here and there. And every time they got a little punish, but they didn't get as much as they could have. At any point, like even the VZs on the hill, Muscles did a poor loop. He could have been punished worse, but he didn't.
It was a timing thing too. The caller they kept on flexing Kenway, and Kenway ended up being in the fight when he needed to be, right? I think their hope was that because of their fast lineup, they would be able to. Because, I was like, oh, maybe they should go down to the 8 line. But when I said that, it kind of looked like it, but it wasn't actually free. And Sheep made the right call. They were just able to flex fast enough.
Yeah, it came down to Sheep, unfortunately. And Sheep's a good guy. Normally, the type of caller that does pen his shots. That's why it's so kind of out of the normal. Because I think you're spot on. I think strategy-wise, I think they outplayed Burbology a bit there. And they just had to make a couple more shots count, and they had it because that IS-4 pick on the 1 line, I mean, they took like 2 shots of damage for it, really. And they were just up so much, and they still had good positions. We're into tank picks for the next round on Himmelsdorf. And we've got Burbology on attack, readying up a Mouse E100 at the start. Got the double IS-4s, though. Tomatitos bringing it on defense with a VZ and a 60 TP.
Ooh!
Oh, wow.
An E5? Did they miss ready up?
We've seen an E5 once or twice this season, and I believe every time it's been like, didn't work out, did it?
You remember the 430U?
Oh god, that was brought a lot at the beginning, wasn't it? And it didn't. It definitely. Well, it did what it's supposed to do. It was set on fire every time it was shot, but that seems to be the 430U life. So yeah, we've got Tomatitos, 60 TP, double IS-4, 1 Mouse, 1 E5, and 1 VZ. Burbology, E100 Kron. They brought this Kron before, I believe. Mouse, 277, VZ, and a CS. So Muscles opting for the CS on attack. I'm guessing because of the early spots on the hill and some of the random shots you take on attack are a little bit different than defense. So yeah, a lot of HP here for Tomatitos. And they're trailing 1-2, but they could have been they could have been up 2-1 right now. And Muscles here, you can see actually you going really fast off the initial spawn. on attack defense, and are they going A-line aggressive, or is he just going to spot the... Where is he going to spot? Ooh, cheeky little boy. He's found a little crack to see. Look at that. And he's able to get the shot off.
Wow.
Sneaky, sneaky. This type of stuff happens when you spend a lot of time in training rooms or in pubs and you just know some of these little itty-bitty spots exist. And look at that. He's able to get some information and he's able to get some damage out. Because if you see that 60 TP cross, you know for a fact that he is not the only tank that has moved south. No one's sending just 160 TP down the 2 line. So they can start making some judgments and some flex calls. Oh, look at this. They're going to use the Kronwagen in this position as opposed to an E3. It can do it. It does have the gun depression. Just, I guess it can get into the fight a little faster, Smiley, afterwards.
Right.
E3's going to struggle a little bit, but...
It's really weird that the E5 is playing like E1, kind of behind the IS4. I'm wondering what the purpose of it's supposed to be, ultimately.
Yeah, I guess it's...
The only thing I can think of is like...
Than like a Super Conqueror doing something like that. Super Conqueror's not fast enough to do that.
Oh. 340
to, like,
heat,
rotate.
maybe? Maybe the heat?
Yeah, I'm thinking the heat and the just raw DPM with it. And just a little bit of mobility, but I still am
look at that 8-line. Look at that 8-line.
So I feel like this is actually kind of interesting with the Kronwagen because it can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, you could do it, especially because there's not an
HE,
E3. Oh my god, Major Pain taking so much damage.
Oh, there's that 8-line punish for you. And they're going in a little bit haphazardly. They're going to get multiple shots out on this. Are they? There's the next one. OP taking 750. That was a 60 TP shot. Burbology, you're down about 3,500 HP.
Fluky able to actually side script in his E5 and actually get some shots off because the Cupola is actually on the left side.
On the
here.
left. Yup. And some teams actually used this even back in the day for certain reasons like this. But it has another problem. It can also just be penned through its mantlet as well by some gold shells pretty easily.
That's true.
And there you can see it was penned. Can't see the mark.
Might have just been like a frontal track pen.
Yeah, could have been. Serve in the courtyard. IS-4 on the south, and some of these slow tanks are making this really weird because there's some fast tanks and some mega slow. Mouse E100, it's hard to make your whole team move as a unit.
This E100 is going to get clapped.
Look how strung out he is. Oh,
wow.
Sir, that was not beautiful at all. That was not good. I get it was a heat shell, but still. Yeah, take the shot,
yeah,
man.
because it's like a 317 heat as well, I think. So Sheep, what are you? Hello? I don't know if that's a pick.
It is apparently, but he took a lot of damage for it because he got
the only reason
fire.
why he picked him is because he caught him on fire. Now they know where the whole team is, I guess. Good scout. Omega low.
And Luxon is staring here. You can see the Kron has come off the hill. He's playing the northern part of the Beeline Road on the berm.
I feel like that wasn't worth it in the grand scheme of things.
I don't think it was either.
Because they could have just had Serve just side scrape that corner with him, that like with Sheep there, and then if they countered, then he could have done something like that.
How are they so contained against such a slow lineup? They have to figure out where they want to push. They're so disjointed. And Hector, I don't even know if Hector's been spotted up here or not.
I mean, he got shot once, so he has 1,700 damage. I would assume that people know he's here.
Okay, I didn't know if they've been driving around in that meantime.
That's actually really impressive, too.
Because Muscles, I mean, is just a sitting duck for him.
Correct. I think it's just a timing
Muscles fires.
Oh,
no! But Muscles misses in turn, and the December bounce as well. Muscles knows that, like, the cap is no longer a thing. He does not want to sit there trading with an IS-4, right?
Nope. He can't get the gun depression.
Oh, up, down. Okay, never mind. Muscles is out. Okay. Yeah, you should have just poked and gone for the shot. Tomatito's up about 1,000 HP, though. But look how disconnected they are. They have the two big, massive heavies in the north, but the mouse
I'm wondering
and
when
the
they're going to
IS-4.
commit with the 60 TP, because I feel like that's the play.
I mean, they don't really have to do anything, is what's
Oh,
weird.
yeah, you're true. They're playing on time.
Burbo's just bleeding HP here and there and putting a little cap pressure, but then it's like, oh, now we can't, because you can see December's been dueling with Sebastian.
I guess Muscles is actually kind of still stuck there, so no, I think you're absolutely right. But it looks
Burbo's
like
gonna
they're
clump
actually
up
going to
and
get
push
ready to
south.
do something here. Kenway is flexing, and December's driving back a lot.
That's the only play they have, but Tomatitos are in too dominating of a position, and ooh, more damage being exchanged. 2 minutes.
Here you go. You have Hector kind of responding to it. Basically, he could potentially just move up on... Oh, he needs to be careful here. Takes a snapshot. Remember, he doesn't have a V-stab, so he probably can't hit the broadside of a barn even if he wanted to. Uh-oh, he's going to make himself a pick here.
Ooh.
That means Tomatitos is actually going to have to do something in response to this.
Yeah, this ended up... He was trying to get close. He thought it was going to be a push on the 8 line, but they just turned around. They just turned around on the 7 and just went back. And yeah, now he's... Kenway's alive with 5 HP on the cap. They should be able to get resets, but they have to be careful. I mean, Sebastian has some resets, but December's just trying to shield as much as possible. With 1 minute left, this shouldn't be a cap out. E5 Fluky's arriving. It should be fine, but the mouse... I mean, this is gonna be tight, dude. Can Burbo pull this out?
I don't think so. All the E5 really has to do is probably just like take the shots and then just like...
He may die here for
yeah,
it. They
and then
miss.
they get the resets.
Ooh, they did not kill Kenway, but they did.
But Luxon's coming in with full HP, so he's definitely going to kill somebody from behind. He just has to aim his shots.
And now Kenway
There
goes
we go.
down.
And it looks like both teams are going to have wins on defense, Himmels.
And both in very, very close fashion.
Yeah. Because there's no way they're going to kill Sebastian. You know what I mean? Like, they just can't win now. They might actually get all the kills here.
I remember back in the day, there was a player on... It was either Navi or Tornado. And he very consistently would bring an E5 on Himmelsdorf when it almost like shouldn't be. And I know that he would play the certain corners where... Kind of like you saw before, he's hiding the cupola. But then there were just times where it just couldn't work. Times where it could work and times where it couldn't. And I wonder how much of this was like the player picking the tank.
But I mean, look what happened. What did we talk about? We talked about IS4s, right? And
IS4s
it's actually kind of
win.
funny. The team that brings 2 IS4s wins. And statistically speaking, from the 2 matches we have seen, it is actually accurate.
Yeah. They just take so much punish. And you can see Sebastian, top damage for Tomatitos, 3,800. Sheep, 3,600 and 2 kills in his VZ. Luxon, 3,200 and 2 kills in his IS4. Surf,
And we are
almost
2-2. Burbo Tomatitos. And so...
Muscle's got a 4,600 in his CS.
Dude, I'm telling
Muscle's
you, man.
playing on fire.
I'm telling you, man. If you kill... I'm pretty sure if they had like 3... If there was 3 people in the open on Burbo, I'm pretty sure Muscles would be called... Like, they would call Muscles for the pick. Like, that'd be the smart play. You know what I mean? Because that man is a damage dealer. Not saying that anybody else isn't capable of doing that. I'm just saying, like, he's most likely because he's always playing offside, and he plays it really well.
Yeah, he plays it really, really well. And, you know, some of that damage may have been at the end or whatever, but we saw him even, I mean, get some cheeky shots in here or there. He's able to kind of press the issue and get that random shot of damage here or there. He gives Burbology opportunities to win or take advantage. And that's what you want from the player in that role. And yeah, like you said, I'm sure some of the other players could do that too. It's just they're not in that role.
And it looks like he actually has to restart the stream.
First. Ah, that's what it is. Okay. About to say, I was like, oh no.
We can go back to our little casting. People can see our beautiful faces.
Oh, yes. Oh, hang on.
You actually did your hair. No plan.
Did I? My hair is it is like it is right now until I move my headset and then it ends up however it ends up.